Did you know that nearly half of your dealership's website leads are being mishandled right now? According to 4Eyes' 2025 report, 43.2% of dealer website leads never receive proper follow-up, with over 14% never making it into CRMs at all. This translates to thousands in lost revenue monthly. The fix? Stay tuned to find out. I'm Coffin, and on today's Better Car People Weekly, we'll address these gaps and discuss how to recover lost opportunities and revenue for your dealership. Welcome to the first episode of Better Car People Weekly. I'm Sierra Coffin, and with me this week is our resident automotive training guru, Matt Lowery.
Wait, I'm a guru? All
right. Of course you are.
I'm a guru, absolutely.
In today's hyper-competitive automotive market, the difference between a thriving dealership and one that's merely surviving comes down to lead management. Yet, remarkably, nearly half of all potential customers who express interest in your inventory are falling through the cracks.
Right, and that's the big thing. A lot of times when we're talking about the automotive space and we're talking about lead handling and we want more leads, we're not doing a good job with the leads that we already have. We're mismanaging the ones we have so badly. You don't need more. We need to sharpen our process and tighten up what we already have. If you're closing 10% of your internet leads, doesn't that mean you failed 90% of the time? Mm-hmm. We need to work on tightening that up a little bit.
Quite honestly, the stats and leads for 2025 is very shocking. Mm-hmm. 47.7% of website phone calls aren't properly managed. That doesn't really shock me too much. How do you feel about that?
Right. Well, when we talk about the calls that are coming into the dealership, and that's usually the one stat most dealers don't know. They can usually tell me how they do with internet leads. They can tell me how they do with their showroom traffic. When I say, how are you doing with your phone ups? And the people that call in, we kind of stare at each other. And then, especially when I say, and how much do you want to believe that number is correct? Because are you counting all the people that, the salesperson just decided, no, there's nothing here. I'm not putting that in the system. And so I'm actually surprised. I thought it would actually be worse than that.
Right.
So.
That was kind of my thought process too. And I also have here that 42.2% of form submissions receive inadequate follow-up.
Sure.
And I'll say, as someone who's bought cars and has also known people who've bought a lot of cars, that doesn't surprise me too much either.
Well, and to me, I just sit there with this and go, I love when I look at follow-up processes in dealerships. And, to me, one of the biggest things is we're not answering or even addressing the questions that's asked. But typically, like day 3 or day 5, we send something like, do you have any additional questions? You didn't answer the one I asked. What do you mean, do I have any additional ones? Shouldn't we start with that? So, yeah, I mean, we got a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree there. And how about this one? Mm-hmm. So 35.5% of chat interactions fail to convert to next steps.
Sure. Well, I hate chat. Who likes chat?
I don't mind it.
Right. So, but my whole thing is what I hate about it. Mm-hmm. We have the little chat. A lot of times what we do is we make the chat pop up on the website in the middle and make you have to close out of it. Do you like having to close out of those things? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm all for having chat on there, but I know what the little bubble is. Everyone knows what that bubble is. Let them click on it if they have a question. But then 2, the problem with chat is it says, what we can answer your questions. They never answer the questions because most of the chat services out there, they're managed chat, and what are they just trying to do? What's your name and number, and we'll have someone reach back out to you. So what's the point of having chat if you can't actually answer the questions? Now, if we're managing it in-house and you actually have the staff and you're using it, that is a different conversation entirely. But those managed chat services, I'm just not a big fan. Now, after hours, overnight, I get that. Right. But during the day, I'm asking a question, and all I get is, I need your name and number, and I'll have someone contact you. So why do you even have it?
Exactly. And to your point, it's all in how it's managed. Mm-hmm. If you have a chatbot on your website and you don't have any of your staff intervening with any of those chats and you just kind of let it do its own thing, run rampant, get the appointments, get customer contact information and never follow up on those guys, then yeah, you're not going to see your success from chat leads. That said, if you have people in the background, you have real humans, you have staff that are able to hop in at a moment's notice to convert that customer to either an appointment or the next step of the process, that's where you'll see that.
It's funny because you said you don't mind chat. I bet you'd mind chat if they couldn't answer your question.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, if you asked it and all it said was, I need your name and number and I'll have somebody call you tomorrow or call you later.
Yep.
Now, would you be a fan of chat? Probably not so much, right? A lot of this, when we look at our interactions with internet leads, phone ups, chat, what we're doing, I always just put the customer hat on. And I'm like, if I was the customer and was my experience, would I ever tolerate this? No, absolutely not. So why are we doing it to our customers? And that's your first impression that you're making for your customers. And we wonder why we might have a bit of a trust issue and things with our customers. You have a chat thing. It says ask questions. You don't give answers, right? You make them close out of it. You annoy them. I mean, that's our first footing. Shouldn't we tighten this up a little bit?
Well, exactly like you just mentioned too. If I'm a customer and I'm putting in a lead, I'm trying to give you money and I'm not getting a response, I'm not getting my question answered. How do you think an interaction with your dealership's going to go when something actually goes wrong with my vehicle, or I need to talk to F&I, or anything goes haywire for that matter?
Absolutely.
And so here's another good one. This one actually surprised me a little bit. 14.1% of leads never even make it into the CRM at all.
So I see that a lot. We audit websites an awful lot. And what we typically see, bad links, right? It'll say, contact us. They fill out the form. It doesn't route to the CRM. Especially true with a lot of like third-party sites as well. A lot of times it'll be like, click here and we are expecting it to feed in. Doesn't happen. And look, I get it. We're busy. We have a lot of things going on. I'm not sitting here saying you need to audit your website every 30 days. I don't know, twice a year. Should you maybe just make sure all your links, everything that says reach out to us goes into the CRM and we can do it? Start with once a year. When's the last time? That's my question. When's the last time you did it? If it's been in longer than a year, maybe it's time to look again, because again, you want more leads. You're losing 15%. That's not even getting into your CRM. We just got to tighten this up. We need to pay attention to it. And I get it. We're putting out fires all day, every day. Once a year, can't we go through it?
Yep,
Right?
exactly.
Tighten this up.
And these aren't just statistics. These are real people, real customers who are reaching out directly to your dealership in most cases that simply either aren't getting a response at all, or they're not getting a proper high quality response.
Yeah. I mean, when you're sending out that response, thanks for your inquiry. I see you were looking at stock number 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice choice. When did you want to come and take that for a test drive? Was that later today or tomorrow? If you're sending out any variation of that, we need to talk, because there's a lot better we should be doing. I mean, if you got that, would that get you to actually engage with that dealership?
Absolutely not.
And that to me, is a lot of this is what we need to really look at is engagement. Are customers actually wanting to engage with us? And are your responses creating engagement? And a lot of times, if we're just honest, the answer is no.
Yeah, and oftentimes what I'll see too even is, don't get me wrong, speed is the name of the game, but if we're sending out fast responses that aren't relevant to the customer, we're not reading the lead, then proceeding, answering any customer questions in the lead, it's all for nothing at the end of the day. So I want to talk really about the overall cost of missed leads. Let's talk about some quick math to just illustrate the financial impact that dealerships are facing due to this alone.
Sure. Well, and to me, and this is, to me, a lot of times problems that the manufacturer has, we even have when we're reaching out to dealers, is we're not talking the same language, right? We talk about you're missing leads, you're missing opportunities. We don't bring this back to dollars and cents. Everything it should come down to dollars and cents, right? How much steel are we rolling? How much is this actually costing us? So if you think about this and you just do the math, if on average, if you're getting about 1,000 leads a month, right? 200 car store, maybe they're getting around 1,000 leads or so a month. If we just sharpen our process up just enough to squeeze out 1%, just 1% more out of that. Think about, if we tighten up our templates, we tighten up what that process looks like, that 10 cars that we would sell, $4,000 a copy, that's $40,000. Is that worth maybe an hour of our time, 2 hours of our time to go through, make sure our links work, get that extra 15% coming in, tighten up what we're saying, fix our chat problem, fix our phone problem? And I mean, that's just internet leads. Now you do that in phone ups, you do it with your showroom process too. That compounding interest, right? Compounding effect is huge and makes a massive, massive improvement.
Yep. No, I definitely agree with that. And all that goes into making sure our leads don't get missed, it's all very low low effort, very high impact activities that we can do. So,
And just real quick before you jump to that, because that is the thing. You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You're doing a lot of things right. Dealers don't get enough credit. They do a lot of things right. We make a lot of money. We're doing a lot. It's just how do we sharpen the pencil a little bit, right? And again, should we maybe once every 6 months, at least once a year, go through it? Because I promise you, whatever my templates and my responses, what I would be saying today is not what I would be saying last year. And that's sure what I was saying last year, sure wasn't what I've been saying 2 or 3 years before that. Shouldn't we be looking at this, right? And isn't it worth our time to pull an extra, $40,000, $50,000 that a month, every month, that maybe once or twice a year we put an hour into this and look at it? Just a suggestion.
So let's do some quick maths to cover the real cost of misleads.
Okay.
The average dealership gets about 300 leads per month, give or take.
Okay.
The average mishandled rate is 43.2%,
Sure.
equating to 130 leads lost.
I'm glad you have the numbers because, all right, go ahead.
Now, the average close rate on properly handled leads is 10%, and the average profit per vehicle is about $3,500 per copy. Now, that totals to a monthly revenue loss of about $45,500. Multiply that by 12, and that's an annual revenue loss of $546,000. Now, something that I hear pretty frequently is, of course, with any dealership, we need more appointments, we need more leads, this, that, and the other. And the immediate jump that people tend to make, and they always ask me, is what are some good lead providers? Who can I sign up for? But the issue isn't necessarily our providers. The issue is more so, what are we doing with the leads that are currently on our plate? That's where your money lies.
Well, and one of the things I say all the time, if you have plenty of leads. If you want more leads, I can give you all the leads you ever want. It's called the phone book. It's real easy, all right? Go get it. You can dial everyone you want. Look, failure breeds fatigue. You don't need more. My people aren't doing a good job with the leads they have now. A lot of that is because they see it as a waste of time. They're reaching out over and over and over again and not getting anything. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is the amount of work I'm doing worth what I'm getting out of this? A lot of times the answer is no, because we're using form, fill out, and those chat things. People don't want to give us their information. They're not ready to do it. How about instead of that, we concentrate on the customers who actually want us to engage with them and do a better job with that. You don't need more, you need better.
Yep.
Right?
Couldn't agree more. So tell me a little bit about where these breakdowns are specifically occurring so that dealers can get more juice per squeeze out of what they already have coming in.
Sure. So one, myself, when you're looking, let's just, internet leads, let's look at our internet lead follow-up. We used to back in the day say you should have a 90 to 120 day follow-up program. Who's excited about calling someone after 90 and woo, they haven't picked up the phone and responded in 90 days. This is going to be the time.
Well, also,
right?
Who, after submitting a lead, is still in the market for a vehicle after 90 days if they haven't bought one already?
And if they are, your call's not going to be the thing that does, right? How about we concentrate on that sweet spot? To me, 30 days, right, with a person, I wouldn't have a template going out on day one at all, because if you have that, they're never going to read it. Even though we always say, read the lead, and respond, answer the question. We've been harping on that for years. They're not going to do it. People take the path of least resistance. If they have the ability to go click, click, they're going to go click, click. Yep. I'd take that away. I'd look at my follow-up program for the next 30 days. I'd break it down. Look at the templates we're sending out. Does it look like a template? Do you like a template? When you get it, and you know when you get one. Are we looking at what we're actually sending and making sure it doesn't look like that, right? It's okay to be a little humorous. Are we changing up? Are we thinking about the voicemails we leave? So now, not only am I sending them emails, I'm picking up the phone, I'm calling them. If I called you today and I said, hey, this is Matt with ABC Motors, I got some great news, give me a call back, and you didn't call me back tomorrow, do you think I should maybe say something different than, hey, Matt with ABC Motors again, still got some great news, give me a call back? You heard it, or you read it, you probably read the transcript, but you saw it. It didn't do anything. Do you think maybe I should reference back to what you asked me about? Hey, I was talking to my used car manager about your trade, got some information for you on that, give me a call back, right? Shouldn't we be changing this up? So we need to keep it real simple in the beginning. What's the cadence? I think AI is great, especially for a long-term follow-up. Let that follow up for 90 days, 120 days. Great. How about we concentrate our people power on that first 30 days, Let's work on our first initial response. And even if all you did was take 1 or 2 of those templates and things that we send out, and we fix 1 or 2 a week, within 90 days, won't you have a whole new process lined out? 10 or 15 minutes, that's all we need in order to sharpen this thing up. It's not hard. But it does take a little bit. And look, I also get it. It's hard to work on your department when you're working in your department. When do you have the time to pull back and do this? You don't need hours, you don't need days. You need 10, 15 minutes once a week. Can we find that and just sharpen up our process a little bit? That's where I would go.
So really at the end of the day, what I'm hearing is it comes down to training. So, and a key point I wanted to talk about is how we can better train our dealership staff, our BDC teams, whoever it is, to have cross-channel excellence. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, you're going to have to help me understand what did you call it?
Cross-channel excellence.
What the hell is that?
So it's essentially when you don't just focus on calling customers and bombarding them with emails, but sometimes you mix little texts in there with them too.
Oh, well, so I'm sure AI didn't write that expression at all, right?
Don't wrap me out.
Okay. So, but you know what? It is a very good point. What do we do? Because a lot of times we either talk, what are the emails we're sending? What are the emails we're sending? What are we saying on the phone, right? We load lips all the time. Shouldn't we be loading lips for these internet leads? We already know what our customers are going to say. They all say the same thing, right? It's either a price question, a payment question, a trade value question, a selection question, or a credit question. Whew, say that 5 times fast. But it's always down to those. So one, we should prepare what we're saying on the phone. We should think about the voicemails and texting. And I love you brought up texting. Text. We should be texting heavily. That's how everyone wants to communicate. You get a much better response rate and engagement rate on texting. And, just as a side note, what I see on almost no dealership websites out there? The ability to text us. They're looking on their cell phone at your website, not their computer. How about instead of the chat bubble or just a phone call, how about text us? Text us a question. What do I have if once they text me a question? What do I also have?
Contact info.
Right. I have their phone number. So not only can I text them, after I text them, I can then call them and say, hey, I just want to make sure you got my text. Do you have any additional questions? So we really need to look at incorporating a lot more text into our follow-up process, but we need to pay attention to our phone skills as well. When we get them on the phone, how are we doing it? And we need to make sure, not everything has to be when are you coming in, right? It's about engagement. If I move you from emails to texting me, isn't that a win? Didn't I move you further down the funnel? What about if I then move you from texting to a phone call? That's a win. I move you from a phone call to the showroom. We know that's a win. Now, but yet, so many times what I see in most dealerships follow process is just, when do you want to come in? When do you want to come in? Walk me through it. It's a funnel. It's okay. Don't always go for the home run. It's all right. Move me further down the funnel.
In the age of the average car buyer, it's going to keep getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
It's getting younger and younger now. You've probably noticed it. I notice it too. Gen Z is terrified of taking a phone call. They're terrified of making a phone call. On average, even outside of Gen Z, more people are apt to respond to text. And while I'm not saying by any means, hey, give up phone skills training every day and let's move towards training towards texting and emails.
It's definitely the preferred way of wanting to contact.
Right. We should still focus on phone skills training, but if more people are responding to text and emails now more than ever, shouldn't we focus on that too?
And so then shouldn't we really, because I'm not trying to sell a car through text though, but what I'm trying to do is to make you feel comfortable enough to pick up the phone. So I text back and forth with you a few times. I give you some information. Hey, now when do you have 5 or 10 minutes that we can hop on a call real quick and discuss this? But now you feel comfortable with me, right? Absolutely.
Exactly. Because exactly to your point, the goal isn't, hey, this guy's responding via text. Let's go ahead and set this whole appointment via text, because you're just going to find objection after objection after objection. You're going to go down rabbit holes.
Yep.
But to your point again, is to move that customer to the next stage of the buying process. And even if you don't necessarily get an appointment right then and there, you are moving them through the pipeline, and that is a win.
And I get it. The car business, it's I need to sell cars today, but I need to sell cars tomorrow too.
Right.
Next week, next month, right? It's about filling the pipe as much as possible, the pipeline as much as possible, and then funneling them through that, right? It's okay. Look, I will always ask the customer when will they want to come in. How about when would you like to come in and look at it? Or if you'd rather, I could text you some information. Give them an either or. So those customers who are at the point where they're ready to, great. If they're not, they have another avenue, not just when are you coming in.
We completely understand that working on your department is extremely difficult when you're also working in your department. So if you are ever in need of additional support, whether it be templates, additional training for your team, anything for that matter.
Especially with, what's that term again that you said? What do we do?
Cross-channel excellence.
Right. Apparently, we're very good at cross-channel excellence. That was not written by AI whatsoever at all. But if you do, right, we're more than happy to help. We're very big on having a serve, not sell mentality. So if you're wanting copies of templates, you want some different ideas, hey, reach out to us. 2 heads are better than 1. 3 heads are better than 2. And, I love that you were stealing my line there about it's hard to work on your department. And you were good trainers steal, great trainers steal a lot.
I was going to steal that line from you again, but you cut me off. It's fine.
Absolutely.
I know we've given you a lot today, so we want to leave you with this key point. Whether you tackle these improvements internally or partner with your lead management experts, closing the gap between missed and managed leads should be a top priority for every dealership in 2025. Wouldn't you say, Matt?
You said that very, very well. And look, again, we're here to help. Just let us know how we could do that. And you know what? Let's make 2025 a great year.
For Matt Lowery, I'm Sierra Coffin, and we'll see you next week on Better Car People Weekly.
For more information on Better Car People's training and AI solutions, visit bettercarpeople.com.